Welcome to Deer Camp Big Buck Spotlight. In this episode, we will be taking a look at the Missouri Monarch, the #1 non-typical and current world record whitetail. In the last episode, we took a look at the hole-in-the-horn buck, which arguably may be more well-known than the Missouri Monarch, but it was only fitting that we take a look at the official king of the whitetail world. The story of the Missouri Monarch isn't all that interesting, which I'm sure has a lot to do with its lack of popularity. But, story aside, it's an incredible animal that deserves recognition. Just like the hole-in-the-horn buck, the Missouri Monarch was not harvested by a hunter. The buck was discovered on November 25, 1981, alongside a road near St. Louis, Missouri. The deer was discovered by a hunter, but it was not shot with a bullet or arrow. The buck appeared to have died of natural causes. The toothless buck had a deformity in the lower jaw, causing it to be set back a few inches. Some reports say the buck was 4.5, others say 5.5. No matter what the buck's actual age was, it's as old as it's ever going to get. The massive rack measures 333 7/8 inches, shattering the previous record from Texas of 286. The buck has an inside spread of 25 1/8 inches and has an incredible 44 scoreable points. It's also said that the antlers are surprisingly symmetrical for such a non-typical rack. The smallest mass measurements are well over 5 inches, with mass measurements accounting for more than 40 inches. The abnormal points alone account for over 180 inches, which shows just how non-typical this buck's antlers are. The antlers weigh 11.5 pounds, which is incredible when you think about the fact that this deer had to carry those massive antlers around. As with all big deer like this, the final score and place in the record books doesn't come without controversy. Many people believe the hole-in-the-horn buck is the bigger of the two, which, to me, the hole-in-the-horn looks bigger just from looking at it. The Boone and Crockett scoring system has caused a lot of controversy for many years with many different bucks, which plays a big factor in the popularity of these legendary white tails. People like controversy, and it seems like the bucks that don't come out on the top of the record books because of scoring controversies are more well-known than the official world records. Nonetheless, the Missouri Monarch does hold that top spot and is recognized as the world record, no matter what anyone's opinions are. Getting back to the hunter that discovered the deer. Back then, Missouri didn't offer salvage tags, so the hunter that discovered the antlers couldn't keep them. The Missouri Department of Conservation immediately took possession of the rack, where it now hangs in the Jefferson City headquarters of the Missouri Department of Conservation. However, many replicas of the rack have been made, one of which was rightfully given to the hunter that originally discovered the buck. I wouldn't mind having a replica of this rack hanging on my wall, as well as many of the other legendary whitetails. Some people don't understand why anyone would want a rack hanging on their wall from a buck that they didn't harvest themselves, especially a replica. And I understand why people don't get the logic of it. But for me personally, I'm just a fan of big white tails, and I enjoy looking at them in awe and amazement. I guess you could say I'm a big buck addict, and I don't see that ever changing. But that'll do it for this episode of Deer Camp Big Buck Spotlight. Until next time, remember, you're always welcome at Deer Camp.